Okay, so this is another great reason, Jeffy, is I want to piggyback on this for all of you guys. I want to push you. If this makes you super uncomfortable, you need to do it. For me, especially if you want to get asked to be on someone's podcast, if you want to get asked to speak somewhere, like getting your face out there and matching your voice with like what you're writing, that was huge for me. I remember I got my first speaking job and then I started talking on Snapchat every day just to get comfortable speaking in front of people. But for you, it could be not only your work and your writing skills, but how you're speaking to it on your Instagram stories. That could, like, you have no idea. That could just, that now you're targeting those people who go left and right, and you could land in someone's feed and then they go and check out your work from there. You know, so you're opening that possibility, and it's going to make you uncomfortable. Like, I still get uncomfortable talking on my stories now, but always position it like you're talking to one person, just like you do within your writing. Speak to one person on the camera.
The Perspective Podcast is fuel for your mind and creative grind. Each week, my guests and I provide the skills for thinking bigger, overcoming adversity, and making an impact with your work.
What's going on, everybody? We are back for Hot Seat Call number 2. I didn't have any fancy, lines of motivation to start this off with, so we're just going to dive right in. A lot of you have gotten started with your projects already, and that's so dope to see. And if you haven't yet, that's fine. I know some of you are kind of building up that queue as well, ready for November to just drop it on the world. So you have that queue built up, in case something pops up, you're ready to go. And that was a big takeaway from Lauren Hom as well, was have a queue ready instead of going the weekly thing. So if you can even, like with Rob and I were talking, just queue up a bunch of sketches, thumbnail sketches for your next week's, following week's designs or ideas. That can help you just skip a step and get one step further. So, try to build a queue, at least of your ideas, flush out your ideas of what you want. That's where that editorial calendar resource came in. And without further ado, I know Kristen has to get going early to get to work, which, stuff like this, you got to skip work for, but Kristen, what's going on with you right now? What kind of questions or concerns, anything that's popped up that you want to dive into today?
Okay, just making sure you guys can hear me, yeah?
Yeah, it's a little echoey,
okay.
But you're outside, so let's do it. Don't matter.
Okay, so I think my biggest struggle lately that I just realized after the talk with Lauren Hom was just that, as silly as it sounds, just like being true to yourself. And I think that was definitely something I struggled with because I started off with one idea going into the program. I tried to go along with it and then realized, like, hey, I'm not enjoying this. And it's weird because I was going to ask Lauren something during the talk, but she had already answered it before I had the chance to ask. So just getting over that fear for me of just like producing shitty work in order to get to the point where you're like, hey, I'm actually liking the work that I'm putting out. Not to say that I'm not right now, but I think it took just a bit more to get to this point where, like, okay, I feel good about the work that I'm creating, as opposed to just like, hey, I'm doing this just so I have something to put out every week. And I don't want it to be like that. And just being honest with myself, really. And just admitting to myself, like, hey, this isn't working. I need to try something else that I think will work so that I can keep going forward in the direction that I want to go in. And yeah, I mean, especially just starting out, it's hard not to have imposter syndrome because compared to everyone else in the program, I have like next to no work done. And but thinking of it for my own like story, like I'm trying to get to where like all of you guys are right now. Like a lot of you may think that you're not far along yet, but you're much farther along than I am. And that's my goal, to be where you're at right now. And just getting over the fear of making shitty work, because I know it's going to be shitty for a while. so I can get to the point where I'm like, hey, I can see the progress in front of me.
So I think you really had a breakthrough. It's been
Yeah.
more of the burden has been lifted off your shoulder instead of feeling like your work is a burden because it's a passion project, as Lauren said, it's a passion project because it's something you enjoy. And I think I said, you got to post turds in order to post gold, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and leave it up within your, oh, we got a bike in the background. So like leave it up on your, like leave all this stuff as you continue to post, build that archive, you know, because if you can go back to any one of these people's posts, you can go all the way back to the beginning and you can see those turds that they've been posting. You can see all the turds I've been posting, you know, and I still post turds. And I think it's been Rob and I have had a lot of conversations, and Savannah as well, as posting like your 70, your 80% is better than someone's 0%. So, you know, a 0%, that's not even worth a turd, you know, and you have a turd to post. So post turds. And in the meantime, like, it's not a turd, you know, you're learning, you're finding the progress, and you're putting yourself in a position to have some fun and get a lot of value out of it and give a lot of value to someone else with your work too. Because where you are right now, there's going to be someone that's looking up to what you're doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What other kind of questions do you have? One thing I would like to say to you is continually to focus on your presentation of your work. I like the color version that you did today, the contrast, taking someone like the yellow, trying to shoot your work in natural light helps a lot too. So what other kind of questions that you have? That'd be something I'll drop like a feedback in one of these weeks once you post something. I try to pick like one person's work a week, at least like do a pretty detailed feedback like I did with Kevin's last week. Any type of questions that you have right now?
Yeah, mostly just that. I mean, just composition of my work and how to like make it more presentable for Instagram. I mean, I know it's Instagram, but at the same time, I do want my feed to look a bit more cohesive than it has been. I guess it's kind of different because I'm not doing something that's digitally rendered. So yeah, just more pointers on that for people who do more analog type stuff.
For sure. So like immediately I'm looking at your first image right now. We can do a really, really quick screen share and then we'll jump on to, in the meantime, will you do me a favor and just hit mute on yours just to cut down on some of the background noise?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So here's an idea for you. And whenever you have something to say, just unmute back in, just jump right back in. No worries. Okay. First off, let's really try to get that contrast. So when people are scrolling, like on the Explore feed, it's all about contrast. So once that's where someone's randomly going to land on your page. And so something like this, I'm not sure what lighting or anything you're shooting under, but if you can get next to some type of window, and get some natural light in here. And jump back in real quick. What are you editing your photos in? Are you doing it on your mobile? Are you just strictly on your phone? Are you doing anything in Photoshop or?
Yeah, I'm doing it strictly on my phone. I mean, I have Lightroom on my phone too if I wanted to use that, but I've just been using Visco.
Okay, Visco is good. Perfect. There's also one called Snapseed.
That's what I was going to suggest. Snapseed too. It's super simple and really effective.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, they'll take their photo into Snapseed first and clean up any little blemishes or whatever with like with like the healing brush or something like that. So where I see like kind of where your pencil lines I believe were, that's a perfect thing you can take into Snapseed and edit there first, and then you can bring it into Visco Cam and put each image through the same filter. So use like your same lighting settings here, brighten it up, whatever, use the same filter. So that'll be super helpful to get contrast white in the background, kill this little yellow tint, and then and then add something in Visco Cam and just have some type of filter, some type of look, bump up your looks like maybe your vibrance and your saturation and make those colors pop a little bit more. Cool. And we can talk more about that too.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right, let me get back into this other view real quick. We'll stop sharing. All right, next up, let's go to Shane. And Kristen, if you want to go back on mute real quick, that'd be great.
Oh, sorry. I'm actually gonna peace out now. I gotta head to work real quick.
Okay.
But I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye,
Thanks,
Kristen.
Scotty. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Shaney Mike,
Yo,
what's up?
not much, man.
Let's catch everyone up, man. What's going on?
Not much. So I actually just started my first piece today, which was really fun. I took a lot of time planning it out and stuff, and I think I talked about it on the last hot seat call where I was just getting really nervous and stressed out about picking a style and like just creating. And I just like listened to the artist I really wanted to focus on this upcoming week. The first piece just came to mind, and then I just start whipping it up.
Yeah, how'd that feel? Finally getting like sinking your teeth into it, man.
For like the first 10 minutes, it felt like frustrating. But then once I got through it, I was like, yo, this is fun. Like, I'm loving this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the artist real quick? That way he can get some love on the podcast.
Yeah, Marlon Craft. He's from Hell's Kitchen in NYC. He's really good lyricist.
So from here, since you got started, you sunk your teeth into this, what's kind of your game plan moving forward? What's the plan of attack? When's a post date? And when can we start seeing some stuff? I want to see some work in progress. Really on.
Yeah. So I like, again, I wanted to really utilize the game plan month as much as I could.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm planning on doing is posting actually 2 times during the week. I decided I'm going to do one on Tuesday, and then I'm going to do one on Thursday. It just seemed like after looking again at some of my like, I guess, analytics on like my page, a lot more people kind of are like active on those days. So what I plan on doing is just whipping up 2 different types of pieces. Whatever it may be, it could just be illustration, and it could be like kind of what I'm doing now, which is a little bit of mixed media. And that's pretty much it. So once I post the last one on Thursday, starting Friday till the next Sunday, that'll be the first piece, and then I'll post that on Tuesday. But then once I finish the first piece, I'm just gonna just naturally flow through it.
So is everything starting next week?
Everything will be starting the top of November. Yeah.
Top of November. Okay. So posts. So not next week, but the following week. So you're getting your jump right in November, kind of like Tina's doing as well.
Yeah, just getting as far ahead as I can. When you first start making this stuff, get out the kinks of stress and overthinking, and then once you get into that rhythm, then I'll be cool to hit the next artist and the next artist naturally.
So when you post twice a week, is it the same topic of the same artist?
So what it'll be is, yeah, it'll be the same artist, because I want to I don't want to just do a one-off. When I was thinking about it, I wanted to not limit myself to like what creativity I could do. So first is just trying to like focus on one piece. If I feel like another style, which I want to do with 2 pieces, then I'm gonna do that. So it's just about the artist. I'm gonna have the pieces centered around like basically the sonic like and the emotions from his artistry or her artistry that define them and separate them from other artists in the week.
So I know, like talking with Ben, we're trying to hit 2 birds with 1 stone. What's your goal of once you hit post? Like, how are you? What's your goal with something like that? Yeah, you're posting for fun, but like, are you going to contact this artist or tag them or DM them? Kind of like fan art, something in a sense.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So what I found kind of like successful when I did those illustrations of Collaborate, I didn't do as much like good planning and like hashtagging as I'm learning from all you guys and like your posts at the start of this. But just by even tagging him and just sharing the post to him, then he would hit me up and want to do some work together. So kind of thinking about that where, yeah, I'll tag him. I'll do whatever tags I feel like are necessary, and the caption that kind of like conveys it and tees it up. I'll send it to him, put it on my story, and then I kind of plan on like personally DMing them again and just be like, hey man, your album or whatever like songs I listened to inspire that, this is kind of what came out of it. Hope you like it. Would love to like work together in the future. If not, it's like an honor to be able to chat with you. Just get my foot in the door, because then if they see these pieces, hopefully it'll lead them to scrolling more and maybe visiting my website and see that I can bring more to the table than just the 1 or 2 pieces that I did.
For sure. Yeah, I think that's great. It starts with you. It's about what you love, what you enjoy, if this lights you up. And then just having that secondary, thing that you can flex on, kind of see a couple extra steps down the road of what it could lead to by just planting those little seeds. Because what you're doing right now is just planting seeds.
Yeah.
You have no idea what's going to happen from blowout. I know sometimes like I'll plant a seed, I'll reach out to someone and they don't respond. And then like a year later, somehow we connect completely random at like a conference, So
Yeah.
you might see them at one of their shows. Be like, I'm the dude who drew you on Instagram.
Exactly. Yeah.
So is there anything that we can help you with right now, or any questions that you have in terms of hashtags, in terms of the cohesiveness, or anything that, any roadblocks that you're going through?
I guess the one thing that I've been trying to struggle is usually when I'm posting artwork, and we talked about this at the beginning, is like the presentation of myself online. Like, I don't want to just have it be like super sporadic. I kind of want there to be some sort of like cohesiveness to it. Maybe it's like a certain lockup in the top that says, because I want to call it industry delights. So maybe it says industry delights there or something, but I'm just kind of struggling how to keep it relatively consistent. So when people see this piece, they're like, oh, this is part of this project.
Let's check it out. Can you guys see my screen? Nod, thumbs up, whatever. All right. Yeah. So, talk about what you got going on right now. It's a music related page, but again, like as we talked about, it's kind of sporadic.
Yeah.
What do you want people to know about you when you land on your page? And I should let you all know right now, by the time this episode comes out, November 1st, I'm giving you all new exercises, and this one's deep about your positioning, showing up with your XYZ statement, Instagram bios, as well as like a hashtag system. So get ready here. Next Friday, I'm dropping this for you guys. Just finished it up yesterday. But this is everything you're going to apply to what we're talking about right now, but we can get a jump start. So what do you want people to feel or know about you when they jump on your page with this new series you're starting?
Yeah. I mean, I think I want people to know that I'm definitely very serious about being creative in the music industry, and essentially like I want them to see these art pieces and know that I can pretty much create and brand an artist just based off like their story and their sound, and not just like doing it to like rack up the clientele and all that, but just to know that like I am an artist that like truly is trying my best to like bring out the story and the individual characteristic that each artist has, just generally, really.
So essentially, this isn't going to be a personal account anymore. If anything, this is going to start transitioning to a business account of how you curate and show yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that is the definite goal, because I mean, even like talking with like some labels and artists, they're confused on like what exactly I'm doing, because I always post stuff like Mizzy, for example. I manage him and I design for him, but it's not really coming off as like I'm a creative in the music industry.
Yeah. So like, do you want to be seen as a creative first?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, then maybe, I mean, this series, how comfortable are you just showing this body of work within this season of just art?
It's been a minute since I did that, and I'm ready for it. Like I've been wanting to do it. Like the last time I did
want to
this,
see shit like this.
yeah,
all in my face. That's what I want to see for sure.
Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna know your designer, during this season, or an illustrator.
Mm-hmm.
So
definitely.
you're comfortable with just curating and showing that. Like, what about how you're promoting Mizzy?
I think at this point, just I don't think I need to position myself as a manager for him, because it's not my end goal. It's something I enjoy to do for him, and it's the only artist I manage. But he knows too, like it's not my dream. I don't want to do that forever, and I'd rather position myself as creating for him and like leading creative direction for other artists, and just being a general creative in the music industry.
For sure, man. I can't wait to see this transition. So November, it's
Same.
popping off. So like when this comes out, people are gonna be able to scroll back Shaney Mike, and see the beginning of this, and follow along. When people listen to this 6 months from now, they'll be able to see that progression as well. And that's what I want to play in each one of your guys' minds right now is, when this everybody's gonna start seeing your stuff and roll in, because you're all gonna be linked up in the show notes. So think about not just at the end of this 3 months, but like when someone comes and check out your work months from now, what are they going to see? What are they going to see of that transformation? And I think that's going to be pretty special, man.
Yeah, I'm
Anything else?
excited.
Anything else you got right now pressing?
No, that's really it. Just, that presence. That's about it.
Well, I can't wait to see it. Whenever you start whipping up any type of sketches, please post them in the chat. Not in the chat, but in the Facebook group, so we can just follow along, because I'm ready to
Yeah.
see some stuff. Do you draw and Procreate, or
Yeah.
what? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
So even like those time lapse videos at the end, that'd be sick too.
Yeah, that'd be
bonus
cool.
content.
I've never done that. I think like some of these guys are gonna do it, and I think it's super cool. So if I remember to do that, I'll make a note.
It's a cakewalk. It's a cakewalk, man. You just got to get one under your belt, and then kind of just plan the process. Oh, I can't move my art off the artboard. I got to keep everything here because it's gonna make a dope video at the end. So it's like, again, thinking a couple steps ahead. So
For sure.
all right, man. Good work. Can't wait to see this shit.
Thanks, man.
All right, Hurricane Nina. I don't know where that came from, but I like calling you that, so I'm gonna do it anyway.
It's all good.
What's going on?
So I feel like my biggest challenge maybe the last 2 weeks or so has been, I feel like I'm taking on a little more than I can kind of chew. Maybe it's just a time management thing that I need to get better about, but I want to try to get like more content out there. But I think Lauren's call was really helpful in trying to kind of make a queue of work. And that way I can, bust out a couple projects in, a couple hours, and then have those as like a backup while I'm working on like more time pressing projects. And what we talked about like the inspiration or like quotes or something, I think that would be a good like thing to do for the queue. So I didn't know, like,
let's get to your account real quick. All right. It's funny. She's like kicking out 2 posts a week. I need to do better time management.
but they're taking me longer than it should take me. So
compared to this slider right here, what is a lead magnet? Compared to this, compared to this one, what is email automation? How long did it take you on this first one, and how long did it take you on the second one?
Honestly, I didn't keep track, but the first one definitely took me longer. But now that, and like Ben said, had suggested it about templates. So these are all kind of a general template. So they're pretty easy to crank out. I just need to get all the right information and kind of how to plan it out. But that
Most of your
doesn't
time
take
is in
too long.
research right now, huh?
Yeah, that's kind of where everything is falling.
And what I think is great is you're teaching what you know. So anybody listening right now who wishes they were in one of your guys' spots, like, you're truly teaching what you know a lot already, but you're also diving deep in research and creating content around it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's incredible.
Thank you.
So keep going. Sorry to interrupt you.
No worries. So I guess my question is, once I get this next post in for a grid, I think I'm going to start doing like I said, a queue of like inspirational either quotes or something that's like motivating for creatives while I'm working on the rest of like the lead magnets and stuff. Do you think that's
so how do you
like helpful?
what's that gonna look like? Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you got the time to add it in and it's not gonna distract you from what you're currently doing and creating this content and
right.
future assets, then all for it. So how would that look like within your grid style for that cohesiveness? And for those who don't know, she was it an Ed Milet quote that you shared with me?
Yes. It was an Ed Milet quote from actually Jenna Kutcher's podcast. So it's all up in there. They're all super inspirational. In terms of what it's going to look like, I think the mock-ups that I'm doing now, I'm going to keep with like a blue background and the like the positioning of it. But I think the quotes I might use an orange or the yellow. That way everything is cohesive, but they're separated so that the mock-ups are, they're distinguished against the quotes.
So how I've seen other people do it. So is it going to be part of a triptych then? Or are you going to post in sets of 3, like a new quote each week as well?
I think so. I have to figure how these are all going to intertwine and work
that's where
together.
I think I was telling Tina that Plan app is huge for something
yeah,
like
this. It was really helpful.
Okay, so you've been using it. So like just with this thought, I could see like this right column being your slider, your carousels, and that's just like a white column. And then you have like your blue mock-up column, and then like an orange quote column.
Okay, that's a good idea.
You know, I don't want you to feel too pigeonholed, but I think
no, I'm trying to figure out like how I can either work the way it is or start it new. So
I mean, I think it's going to be hard to like work it with how it is with the back forth grid.
Yeah.
But if you're stoked on it, because that's just another potential offering, that's what's going to set you up a little different. Yeah, you're creating content and educating people, but you're also inspiring. So like when someone lands on your account, it's like those 3 buckets of value, you know, inspirational, entertainment, and education. You got the education part down for sure. And then adding that quote in, targeting creatives with motivation, you know, boom, there's that sprinkle in that second thing of value. That's another reason why someone's going to follow you. And you just opened up your like, what would I say, your potential to get new followers, because you're opening up a new bucket of creatives who want to be inspired and learn from design. So, you know, I think that's pretty cool. Something else I want to see, challenge yourself to think of ways how you can add your Instagram story highlights. You know, is there something you can share behind your process, or maybe eventually go on camera and give a tip of the day or something like that? Because I can see, you know, your orange Instagram highlight, a yellow Instagram highlight, just another way to really blend in your cohesiveness. Someone like Molly Jakes, let me just, for example, she has her colors that she has within her brands, and then it's all within her page. I could totally see you rocking that.
That's cute
as well. Just an idea. If there's, you know, once people start asking like more questions, or you get other ideas or a tip or break down your process for something, or the place you get mock-ups or any other little thing you can add there, that could be a cool thing. So just something to plan an idea.
Definitely.
What are the kind of questions you have right now?
I think that's it for now.
Yeah?
Yes.
Stop sharing your screen. I think you're doing an incredible job. So were you using some type of editorial calendar?
No, I was just using sticky notes on my notebook. And then once I figure out what I'm doing, I put it into the Plan app and see how it's going to look.
Okay, perfect.
So it's been working.
Live off sticky notes. All right.
Yeah.
You get an idea like the grocery store or something like that.
Oh, I throw it into my notes app.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Just making sure all of us have some way to capture our ideas that are synced with us wherever we go. Cool. All right. Perfect. Well, what's the next one coming up for you? Idea.
I think I'm going to be doing an infographic of the last post that I just did. That way it's like an actual piece of content that I can include in my vault that will be coming.
Oh, perfect. And and let's finish it off. Something I should have each one of you guys do too. Give a brief summary of what your project is, or what you're basically creating. So for those who aren't on Instagram seeing this real quick. So Nina, real quick.
So I want to help creatives conquer their marketing, specifically with their layout designs, you know, like anything with lead magnets, email offers, all that fun stuff. So
perfect.
Gotcha.
Perfect. Yeah, kind of put you on the spot right there. So
I know.
Sorry, guys, but I'll make sure to add it in the show notes so everybody can easily find it. All right.
Well, thank you.
Benjamin, you're up, homie.
Yo.
Give a brief Wikipedia page summary about yourself. Your name and your handle even, and just real quick, what's your a snippet of your project?
Sure. So I go by Kicking Treetops Online. Name has no meaning whatsoever. Just a creative thing I came up with when I was a kid. My project that I'm working on is telling personal stories about my struggles with addiction and depression and other mental illness, and combining it with my love for music and going to shows. So what I'm doing is creating band merch and composing it with just live shots and other typographic lyric content.
Perfect. Yeah, it's pretty dope too. So you're crushing it right now. So what's going on? What's up in your world?
I didn't really have a lot. I was bummed that I couldn't make the Lauren's call.
I know we tackled a big topic this last Saturday on the kind of the expert call, or the office hours call.
Office hours, yeah.
How are you feeling about that, just to catch people up? I know some other people had some ideas of what maybe they wanted to see, and it was kind of making you double guess about what you wanted to pursue. How you feel about this direction set in stone where you want to go right now?
So now that we're almost a week off of my second post, I definitely noticed that the engagement was down with it, and I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if it's because I tried color and people are expecting black and white or what. But I think I'm like we kind of talked about on Saturday. Like I'm just gonna go back for the black and white just because that's like my gut. That's my like comfort zone. That's where I want to be, and I think that's what people respond to the most. Um, so I'm just gonna try that with this. See if the color was truly the issue. I mean, maybe it was my story that I told, or maybe it was hashtags. I'm not even sure. That's like one thing that I got to really dive into is like my hashtagging.
Yeah, I remember ripping you a little bit that to make sure you got more like type related and more design related. So not only targeting the merch side of things or band side of things, punk rock, but like what are those type related ones, or what are those design related ones that you can use too? Have you had a chance to use or look into any more of that?
I haven't. I've been so busy this week at work. So like even my drawing and everything is kind of taking up most of the time that I haven't gotten into the research. So
no worries. That's what this is all about, is experimentation, tweak a little here and there and add to it. And I could shoot you a couple hashtags that I think it might be helpful too.
That would be great. That could at least give me a jumping off point too.
Yeah, for sure. So real quick, if anybody has any type related ones, especially you letters, Savannah, Rob, Tina, any type related ones, shoot them over his way. Not necessarily lettering, because he uses more type stuff. So like typography inspired or something like that.
Yeah, I guess like my biggest question that I had was like just getting the work noticed other than hashtagging. Like I know we talked about like featuring and stuff like that. Like, is there any tips on how to find good feature accounts or even get featured, that kind of stuff?
All right, let my InDesign load. I'm just gonna let you guys. Let's just go over one of.
I'm probably jumping way ahead, aren't I?
No, it's good to be on this early. So, but this is coming out. Hold on, let me share.
Hey, Scotty, can I speak to something real fast?
Of course, do your thing.
Yeah, so some hashtags are actually considered banned because they get overly used. So in your last post, you have Valentine's Day, and that's one of the banned posts, well, one of the banned hashtags. So if you go to the hashtag, it's like some of the recent posts have been hidden from this hashtag. So like be wary of some of the really generic ones, like Happy New Year and like things like that. Yeah.
I mean, that was an unfortunate thing because that's what the song was titled. So I just kind of like threw it in there. I didn't even think about like Valentine's Day itself.
Oh no, yeah. It's just like some of the just kind of like really banned.
There's actually like there's like, if you type in like banned hashtags, somebody keeps a list going. So good thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, I had no idea that was a thing.
So real quick, exercise 3 in this month for you guys is all about hashtag strategy. So quick notes on hashtags for anybody who could get some value in this right now. You can add up to 30 per post. To me, that's like 30 lottery tickets. Why not use them? How many of you are using hashtags on your stories right now? Do it. Not enough people are doing this right now. It's a whole world that you can unlock with exposure, because I mean, a lot of people are on their stories. I was at a conference, and you're either a swiper or a scroller on Instagram. And I was in this this workshop, and they were like, so raise your hands if when you're on Instagram you scroll up and down. Half the people raised their room. The other half was raise your hands if you're a swiper left and right. And how the other half was. Exactly. So the people who are going left and right are the people who use stories more. The people who scroll up and down are the people who are using, the bio, the explore feed, and people's pages, their feeds. So we have to keep in mind of taking advantage of both. All right. People are going to live in both. So if you're posting work right now and sharing like, hey, new post, you can put like up to 10 hashtags in it, and you can like hide them behind your image. So it's not like mudding it up. So a couple tips right there, 10 hashtags per stories. Following hashtags that fall within your niche to see what content is being created. So whoever is creating any type of similar like merch related work, or punk band related work, or just design and type stuff that you really like, study what they're doing. Research those hashtags that similar people are using, And then again, certain brands and accounts may feature you if you use their hashtags. So here's like the breakdown that I have for people. I just made some guidelines to it based on accounts under 5,000 using 30 hashtags. I posted something in the group, but I went a little bit more in depth. And for each hashtag, I analyzed the amount of posts that it has, the quality of content between both the top and the recent tabs, average engagement, likes and comments, okay, that the top posts are getting. So I'm like, okay, well, it's popping off. They're using this hashtag, even if it's a small hashtag that falls within this super niche bucket. And this is how I break it down for someone with a smaller account. Using those massive ones that are like 500K to a million plus, it's super hard to rank in. So maybe use 5 of those. So 10 between 25 and 50, 10 hashtags between 50 to 100, 5 between 100 to 500,000, and then 5 between 500K or 500,000 to 1 million plus. So this is the kind of strategy I am using as well. And then I just collect them all within my notes app through iCloud and type them. But I'm not sure if it requires time. It requires time. Like I'm in the process of redoing my hashtag string too, and going back to like my more black and white stuff and stop experimenting with color because I don't care about color. I was only doing color because people said I should do color. So that's why I'm speaking to you, because I'm going back to my roots of I like black and ink drawings. That's my shit. It's always been my shit. I've always done fine liners. Like, why am I switching it up when I know there's a style that's true to myself? And so that's where I was speaking from on Saturday. It's like sticking what's true to you. And yeah, if anybody has like type related hashtags that kind of help him fill out these buckets, let him have it. So, and how I would do it, I would start by just searching like typography. And then I start just like looking what these ranks are used. And then I would click on one again, and then I would check out what its related hashtag is and just go down the rabbit hole, spend like an hour. Once you got caught up on your work though, for sure. Maybe just do a little bit each week and then build it instead of feeling like you have to do it all at once and get behind on your work. So
Okay.
Is that helpful at all?
Yeah, I think so.
That's all you guys get of this exercise. I don't want to share anymore. I don't want to overload you right now. Anything else?
Ben, I was just sorry. You mind if
What's up,
I was just gonna say, like, definitely, I think just point the camera at yourself and like share part of the story per series of 3. Just like you being you, like already, like you're pouring your heart into this. And I just read your blurb in it again to remind myself, and I was like, just hearing your voice, you say that, like if someone watches it over and like sees you do this like week by week or however often you're going to be posting, they're going to start hearing your voice every time they see your drawing.
Dude, that's
you mean literally like put myself on camera and do it?
Yeah.
Correct. Like I'm looking at you right now. I know.
Yeah.
But like, it's just even like, you don't even have to go through the whole story, right? Like one full cycle of the like thing. What is that? Like 10 seconds?
Like today's post was about this, and this because I was here and now I'm here, and this song made me feel this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just that much, even is like enough to for people to start like putting a face to the work.
Like I hide behind kicking treetops, so I don't want my face out there. That's the thing.
Okay, so this is another great reason, Jeffy, is I want to piggyback on this for all of you guys. I want to push you. If this makes you super uncomfortable, you need to do it. For me, especially if you want to get asked to be on someone's podcast, if you want to get asked to speak somewhere, like getting your face out there and matching your voice with like what you're writing, that was huge for me. I remember I got my first speaking job, and then I started talking on Snapchat every day just to get comfortable speaking in front of people. But for you, it could be not only your work and your writing skills, but how you're speaking to it on your Instagram stories. That could, like, you have no idea. That could just now you're targeting those people who go left and right, and you could land in someone's feed, and then they go and check out your work from there. You know, so you're opening that possibility, and it's going to make you uncomfortable. Like, I still get uncomfortable talking on my stories now, but always position it like you're talking to one person, just like you do within your writing. Speak to one person on the camera.
Okay.
So that would be, I think that's a killer tip by Jeffy. If that makes you uncomfortable and scared, that's your intuition telling you that's what you're supposed to do, man.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And in the
Ben,
beginning,
like,
in the beginning, no one's gonna notice anyway. So
Right.
about a year
and
from now.
honestly, like, be okay with like how weird you might look on camera. Like every time I watch
Look
my
pretty
stories
weird,
back then,
dude.
I put it like on like watch any of my own stories. I'm like, wow, why do I talk like that? Or like, why do I? But it's out there, right? Like once
Yep.
you let go of that button, it's out there. It's good.
And it
And you can't.
disappears into Instagram's database. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and rewatch it too. It makes you uncomfortable, but then you can pick up if like, damn, I'm saying way too much,
Mhm.
or why do I not look at the camera? So it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, challenge all of you guys to do that. Once you make a post, not only share, hey, I made a new post, but maybe talk to it. I don't even do that enough when I do something with the podcast related. So, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Is that something you would do the same day that I do the post, or what, should I wait like a day or something?
No, as soon as you make the post, let it be known.
Okay.
Yep, and drop a couple hashtags, sprinkle in a couple of them.
Do you hide the hashtags on your stories, or do you make them super visible?
Sometimes you can hide them like behind an image, behind a GIF.
Yep.
You can make them really, really small. You can change the color to whatever that background is. Savannah's over there nodding. She's got it down too, I'm assuming.
I just didn't know if it was like shady to hide the hashtags in there.
Fuck it.
Normal. Okay.
Ninja it,
Yep.
dude.
Word.
And then when you like look at your analytics and stuff, it'll say how many people from this hashtag showed up on your story. So
Oh, nice.
cool. And that's where I think you can get away with those bigger hashtags too, because not enough people are using hashtags on stories.
Sure.
So you can use like illustrations or hand lettering or typography for something like that, or graphic design. So cool.
Okay.
For everyone.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks, Jeffy.
Yeah. Great job, Jeffy. Speaking of Savannah, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Give a little rundown real quick about your name, your funny ass handle, and then just your project.
Yeah, so I'm Savannah. I'm behind Sarcasm Potato, which I made back in the beginning of high school, and I've just kept it the whole way. And what I'm focusing on is combining my love for podcasts as well as layout design and illustration, bringing some like quirky podcasts to the foreground and like highlighting what I like about them and like what I doodle as I listen to them. So one thing I've been struggling with is that small flex, but I've gotten to like paying gigs as I've started this. So my side project has gotten a little bit to the wayside, and I didn't have to, but I felt like I just needed to push out the 3 posts that I did maybe like a week and a half ago. So I think I'm still trying to balance side hustle paid work and side hustle just like personal project work.
What is the biggest struggle part about it? Like time management, or saying yes when it should be a no, or what? Because by all means, hustle and make the money for sure.
Yeah, I think it is more time management because I also had to go on a work retreat, and these are excuses, but I felt like these 2 projects came at like such a good time, and when things fall into place, I wanted to be all in on them. And right now feel like I'm not all in on this passion project as I am on more of the paying stuff. So I think it's me trying to balance my time a little bit better, especially between something that I really love to do and something that I like to do, and I'm getting paid for it,
What is murals the world you want to live in right now, or are you trying to track more like layout related things to like land editorial designs?
So I'm trying to attract more layout stuff, but the things that I've just gotten, one of them was a poster making design, and the other one is actually during like a small tiny mural. So I'm trying to lean more towards into the other way, but I'm getting work for things that I like to do. I really do like to do them, but the stuff that I really want to be doing is something that's more of like the passion right now.
Now, so for like the project then, is it something that, I know you're posting like 3 different posts for like a triptych, is there anything you could like take a smaller bite to chew?
Yeah, I think with the first one, it was maybe too big of a push for right now. And maybe I could scale it back just
dial it back a
so,
little bit.
yeah, just so I can get a handle on like my current workload.
Yeah, for sure. So how would that look like? What out of these three do you think like the first and the second would be something if you were to
Yeah,
dial it
because
back?
the third one was just kind of like I just posted it. It's just like the first one twisted and I duplicated it. Like it's not like I love it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
More just post to post.
Yeah, that was the last one. Yeah.
Okay. So do you think moving forward, when you're able to fit it in, because yes, you got to pay the bills, you got to eat too, and you have a day job.
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So in like murals, do you have help or is it a solo?
They're pretty small enough to where I can just do them on my own, like, and I can like freehand them. They're not giant.
Okay. Do you have a process or like a routine of when you do either or, like plan your murals? Like, is it the mornings that you gotta do this? Is it on my lunch breaks? Or, how do you using those open gaps in your day to prioritize things?
Yeah, you're right. I feel like in the morning, I just need to be more focused on my actual day job, while in the evening and as well as the nighttime, I do stay up late, and that's when I'm my most creative at night, and then I still have to get up in the morning. So I feel like I need to leverage the end of my day more rather than watching some Japanese like TV shows where I can't do anything else while I watch them.
Yeah, that's the hard thing is something's gotta give. But
Yeah.
when are the murals projected to be done?
So I have to like finish them by December 1st, and then the poster one I have to do by the beginning of November. So
Okay.
like they're kind of staggered, so I will have time in between them to
Okay.
actually focus on this more.
So for you, like we've been talking and like what Lauren talked about on Monday is potentially building that queue out.
Mm-hmm.
And something I want to challenge all of you that I have to put constraints on myself. I want to challenge all of you to know how much time you're putting into each potential project, because when you do that, when you start getting hired for this stuff, potentially, you know exactly how much time it's going to take you or how much time you're going to need. So if you know each week your post is going to take about 5 hours worth of your time, then like, okay, I got an hour on my lunch each day, or I can do 2 hours on a Saturday. But at the end, especially if you're in Procreate, you can see how much time it's taking. That's a huge, huge takeaway is time your work, or give yourself a constraint. Like for me, if I'm doing podcast artwork, it's got to be 4 hours. Like I got to get this done in 4 hours because there's so many other things I need to do. So for you, instead of just be like, it's done whenever I feel it's done, make it done. Pick a time, because if you're like me, you're tweaking to the end, perfectionist. How can I get that little grain shader to look just a little bit better on this bottom left corner of the Punch Up the Jam cassette tape, or how can I make this type just a little bit better drop shadow on it? So that's my challenge to all of you, especially if you got some shit going on the side. Believe me, I'm there. I barely have time to like create for me at all right now. So totally get it. But I think it's also going to hold your feet to the fire of like, okay, now I can like, because you want to do your thing full time eventually, right?
Eventually, yes. I know for now I still need the sanctity of a full-time job.
This is good time management practice. You're being thrown into the fire.
Yeah.
So like what's got to give in certain areas, or instead of watching an hour of Japanese, instead of an hour, what if it's 45 minutes, So
yeah.
Regardless, I can't wait to see more. That was like super nostalgic seeing this Punch Up the Jam one from you. And that layout is killer. It's killer. Anything else you got right now? And I just found out she was a Spurs fan too. I don't know if anybody's NBA fan in here, but I'll have some shit to talk to you once.
Sorry guys, born and raised. I know can't
Kevin's
change it.
A Pacers fan. But anything else?
No, I think I'm good. Yeah, that was really helpful.
Okay. If it wasn't helpful, you can just text me on the side and be like, hey.
No, it was.
Okay. All right. We're going to pivot and go to Tina. You'll figure out the unmute part. There you
Sorry, I'm on my Mac today, and I'm used to being on Zoom on my PC.
Oh my God.
So the buttons aren't the same.
Well,
I use a PC for work. It's for work.
I'm kidding. I'm PC at work too. That's funny. I have to give you shit though. Raise your hand if you're Mac users. Apple anything. Oh, okay, Rob. I was to say, don't be the lonely. Paige, I'm assuming is, but cool. What's going on, Tina?
So I am. Oh, wait. My whole spiel about my project. So my project is the illustrated field guide to naps, where I am defining and illustrating several different types of naps. And that one's going well. I just discovered a new nap to add to my list.
Not napping during coaching calls, though, hopefully.
Oh yeah, no. But so I started drafting my third one. So I have 2 in the bag now, so it'll be my third one, and I'm slated to launch the week of the 4th in November. And my question is, because I kind of have, so now that I started working on this, I'm kind of flooded with a bunch of other ideas of things I want to do. And so I'm trying to balance this one with another series I want to do. Non-nap related. This one is travel related, because I have like this ginormous travel bucket list. And so what I wanted to do is, you know how everyone does a travel journal of all the places they've been to on their trips. I kind of want to do one of all the places I want to go to when I visit a place. So I want to do that. And then I was thinking, I can do this thing on like illustrated recipes on cookies. And so I'm like, now I'm kind of drowning in ideas.
You're getting shiny object syndrome.
Yes, very much so. So I'm just trying to figure out like how many is too many. And my current posting schedule, I've been able to do once a week. And so kind of balancing my posting with my triptych, I'm looking at probably about once a month where I'll be able to post a new nap. And I'm thinking like, is that enough to keep, interest going in that?
I'll be completely honest, from our conversation, when I responded back to you about getting crowd engagement and involvement with it, once a month, people are going to forget you exist with your project.
Okay.
For sure. If I'm being completely honest, I've been there and I've seen other people do it too. And that's why I'm a big believer in the weekly cycle of things, if possible, because everybody lives within a weekly routine. You know, I Monday Night Football, Thursdays was Handmaid's Tale for my wife, so it's like, and Monday's the garbage day, Sunday's the Sabbath. So people expect routines. So if you want people to resonate within it, you have to get within their schedule, if that makes sense.
Okay. So how do I balance posting the naps with, just like the regular things? Yeah.
And you have a unique case, because a lot of people are just like getting into the groove. Like you've already had your groove of creating. Yours is just like, let me add a project or a side project into this. So, what's your current schedule looking like right now with what your current posts are about? What do you, when you're posting? Let's just go to your. Am I sharing right now? No, I'm not. Let's share. Then we can just kind of walk and talk through it. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Cool. So when you're posting right now, like I saw this one, this looked like it could be a potential side project as well. So like, what is your end goal? Like, what would you like to do with your nap project?
I don't really have a goal for it. It was just a fun idea that I wanted to pursue.
Okay. Do you just have a lot of fun ideas you want to pursue for a little bit?
Yeah, basically.
And the whole point behind this coaching program is to build that like body of work during a season. Yeah. So like during a season, you could build a body of work, and then you can pivot in 2020. You're like, okay, I did that. Now I want to go do my travel thing idea. But does that feel, I know you don't like constraints built around within like your cohesive, or not necessarily cohesiveness, but like colors and everything, right? You kind of want to just do it all.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? I feel like I'm talking to myself like 2 years ago, because I was doing like, oh my gosh, everything under the sun. It wasn't until, the last year I really narrowed things down a little bit.
I don't.
Why is that? Let's do a little digging.
I don't know. I like to do the things.
All the
basically.
things.
I just like to I like to do all the things, and I always it just, the idea of limiting myself just always makes me feel like icky, and so I just try not to. I don't like, I'll limit myself, but I won't say it's a limit, I kind of, have to trick myself into doing things like that. But I don't know, everything just seems, I feel like I just like to kind of be effortless in things. But it's weird. It's like, I want to be effortless, but I know it takes a whole lot of work. It's like the whole duck on the water thing. Like, they look like they're gliding, but their feet are going a million miles underneath the water. But and so I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place.
And that's good though. Like, I've been there, and I guarantee a lot of other people who are listening are like, that's me too. Shiny object syndrome. Like, I had like 5 passion projects going in at once, but at the same time I'm like, damn, why am I not gaining any traction? It's because I'm throwing too much out into the universe at once, if that makes sense. Like, so are you wanting people to be are you wanting people to relate? Paige just pinged in here. She's like, this is totally me as well. So like, what's the goal? Do you want people to relate to your stuff and interact and engage with it as well? Because it's all about setting expectations. Yeah, it's for you, but at the same time, it's like Instagram has evolved in this platform where everybody's like, what's in it for me? And setting expectations for people.
Yeah, like, my whole thing is like, I just want to have a space where I can just be me.
Mm-hmm.
And so me being me means there's going to be a million things going on, and I might be laser focused on one thing for a little bit, but then eventually I'll start being laser focused on something else, like, right now my thing is Hamilton and corgis. So that's like where that's my sweet spot right now, but
could your project be a thing about me? All things about me or something like that?
In what, like,
I'm
just
not
like in
sure.
general?
Like, just the things that interest me, and then it's all about you. That way you can be consistently inconsistent. I don't know, it could all funnel into that. Or like, even in your bio, creating all dope things that I'm interested in. I'm trying to just like throw something out there and see if you get any other idea from it.
Yeah,
I guess more importantly is the work that you're posting. Does it light you up and you really enjoy it? Because that's
yeah, like the stuff I've been creating the last few weeks, like, today's post, the button mashers, that one was really fun. Like, my husband absolutely hates it because he hates that I'm a button masher. But I can't help it. I like panic while I'm playing video games, and everything I remember just goes out the window. But like that, and then the embrace yourself, I like poured myself into that one, and I love it so much. So like the things I've been creating and posting the past few weeks, or like the past couple months, have been really what I loved to do when I was working on them. And I'm really proud of what I created. And, that's the type of stuff that when I was done, I showed my husband, like, I'm a kid with art. Look, I made art,
That's dope.
Yeah. So,
that's dope.
So if anything, I like, the stuff that I'm creating is sparking that feel good buzz in myself. And I'm hoping, it'd be awesome if it, makes other people feel the same way. But
I want to just chime in. There's no one way of doing everything. A lot of people need constraints and need structure because they don't know how to capitalize on a single idea in any season. You know, maybe yours is just a completely different scenario. And maybe a year from now, you're going to want to get laser focused in one direction. But maybe that's not that season right now. And if it lights you up with the work you're creating, you're truly not caring about what anybody else is thinking. If they get something from it, that's a bonus because you're getting something from it. So I'm all for it. If that's what you want to do, I'm not going to like twist your arm and be like, hey, you only can post this.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So hopefully you're like, oh my God, I think he's going to like yell at me now.
Like, I feel really relieved you said that.
Hey, this is I think at the bottom of all of it, I think each one of you guys, when we had our initial calls, kind of the screening, I think I told every one of you, this is a season of you. So if this is what makes you feel, spark that feel good buzz with yourself and you're loving and vibing to the shit you're putting into this world, that's truly the most important. For me, it's about niching down. That's where I feel like I've had the most success in reaching people, but we're in two different boats, steering in two different directions, riding a different wave right now. So keep creating your own waves.
Yeah. Okay. I can do that.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe at the end of this year, you're like, damn, I really enjoyed this direction. Maybe I'm just going to post this for a while, and maybe not. And that's okay. So again, I'm not trying to pigeonhole anybody so something becomes a burden to someone.
Okay. So, okay, now this might seem counter to everything we just talked about. But if like, I guess I'm just trying to see if there is a way that I can still, because I can see the way how I can use some of this, stuff I'm making because I want to get into licensing. I can see how that would work. And I can see how some of the things I can do murals, so I can get mural jobs from that. But I'm wondering, like, if I want to do stuff like editorial work, is there a way that I could spin what I'm doing into landing those kinds of work as well?
Like, if I was going to hire someone to do murals, I want to go on their page and see tons of murals.
Okay.
If I'm going to hire someone to go do editorial, I want to go on their page and see a ton of editorial work. But if I see someone posting a little bit of murals, a little bit of editorial, a little bit of a tattoo work or chalkboard, it's going to be hard for me to be like, I want to hire this person for this. When in my mind, I don't feel like they're positioning themselves as an expert. Again, I'm speaking to how I did it. I posted like a t-shirt design, a logo design here, a tattoo design, a mural design here. I'm like, why the hell does no one hire me to do murals? I'm like, oh, I posted one mural in my last 12 posts. Okay. If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's put out what you want, but if there's something you're wanting to attract, like attracts like, and you need to put out what you want. So if you want to do all the things, you can't expect to get hired for serious work for like one specific thing when you're not curating that you do this one specific thing better than everyone else. Otherwise, they're gonna be like, oh, I saw her do a chalkboard, but she doesn't do it all the time, so I'm gonna think she's a hobbyist, and I could probably get it for a low price. If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So again, figure out what it is you want. If it's a season you still want to experiment, do all the things. But if you end up finding like, damn, I really want to land some editorial work this year, then you probably need to show a lot of editorial in your feed in order to attract that work. Or same thing with chalkboards or murals.
Okay.
Something
not the answer I wanted, but
I know,
okay.
I know. But I gave you the answer. I gave you the answer.
No one needed to hear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this isn't to like, I mean, give everybody the answer they want to hear. I'm definitely trying to push it, but I'm only saying that because I've seen other people succeed, and I felt myself not succeeding by not curating what I share and not portraying exactly what I want. When you know exactly what you want and you put it out into the world, the universe has your back. It's going to help you get it by you acting in that direction, a single focused direction. Like, focus is so powerful. And it's this theme I keep hearing at all these conferences of focus what you want, visualize, have a game plan, set that goal up right here. But if you want a lot of things, it's hard to get exactly what you want because you want a lot of different stuff.
Okay. So I don't want to take up everyone's time. I might take this offline with you.
Yeah, we can totally chat offline too.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. But a lot to noodle on. I think a lot of people who are listening are going to be like, dude, that's me. I need to go talk to Tina because now she might have it figured out 6 months down the road.
We hope.
All right. And we're doing good on time, but that's good. Way to be open and challenge and push back against me. That's fine. I don't want everybody to be like, yes, you have it all figured out, because I definitely don't have it figured out. I've just fucked up a lot in my last 5 years of trying to do all the things. This is my first time in all 5 years where I'm not doing all the things. But this is the most success I've ever had. But it took me 5 years to figure out what exactly I wanted to do. So you're still probably you're just a spring chicken and locking down what it is you want to do, and you love your day job anyway. So you're good right now.
Yeah.
Experiment, have some fun.
Okay, will do.
Cool. We'll take it offline and follow back up.
Okay.
Cool. Rob, what's up?
Yep.
I gotta get nicknames for everyone, so I'm working on that.
Rob's cool.
Rob Zombie.
So
no, I'm just kidding. It's Halloween time. All right.
So my account is Dude Be Awesome, and what I've been focusing on is inspiration and motivation through lettering and illustration for creatives. This week kind of sucked because it was like I had one idea, and then I had another idea, and then I had another idea, and it was all based off of stuff that I wanted to say. But I think, and we talked about this, the anxiety of like my third post last week's, the week before this week, it did so well, like it popped off, and I was like so ecstatic about it that I got anxiety for this week's post. So like I was so worried and focused on trying to one up myself that I ended up burning through all of the free time that I've like carved out for myself, and I threw this one together last minute. So like that was like this week's struggle. And when we talked, Scotty, you mentioned the whole thumbnails and like drawing it out and kind of building out that the queue of stuff. And I did it now, and I'm feeling a lot better. But yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at right now.
And I think you and I talked about too, because I've been there. You get one post that pops off, and you think you have to outdo it every time. And we put it in a baseball metaphor. Feel like you have to hit a home run every time you come up to bat. When really, it's just more important to keep getting back up to the plate and swinging. The only way you're going to hit another home run is if you step up to the plate. You might hit a single, you might pop up, or a foul ball, you might strike out, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the more you show up, the more you put yourself in a position, but you hold yourself back when you feel like you have to hit a home run every time. It's way too much anxiety. And then if your post doesn't pop off, it feels like it affects your self-worth.
Totally. I mean, with this one, I was even debating like just archiving or deleting it.
No.
Because like, and when we talked, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna leave it, let it sit there. Like maybe some people will resonate with it. Maybe I can use it in another context, or like remix it.
Yeah. Because and I told you, like, each year I probably recreate 1 or 2 pieces. Something that has been on my mind. Like, damn, I wish I would have done that differently. And like 3 or 6 months from now, I'm like, damn, I still see that. I wish I would have done this differently. And so, yeah, you're building this body of work, and it looks so good with all your other ones,
Yeah.
And I really like that you added even more of like an illustrative cue within there. Like, I love it, and I know everybody else does too. So maybe it didn't do as well as this one, and that's fine. You're building the body of work right now, and maybe this one gave you an idea for a couple weeks from now of maybe you have another carousel idea.
Yeah, I do. I think the thing that really like messed me up was I started to ask like other people for their opinion, and I started to ask too many people. Like, I feel like
I see Ben nodding his head down there too.
And when it's like too many cooks in the kitchen, like everybody has their opinion on like how you should do something, or what colors to use, or like how you should lay out your Instagram feed. And I love my girlfriend, but my girlfriend she's in marketing, and she's so like dead set on you have to focus on getting as many people and like selling and like making it something that everybody's gonna like be attracted to. and I see the value in that, and I love her for like thinking of my like potential, but like at the same time I can only pump out like one thing at a time, and I'm taking your advice and like focusing on creatives that are going through the same thing, that I think we're all kind of going through the same feelings and emotions of like, should I do this, what should I do, where am I going, like I'm stuck, you know. And I think focusing on that direction has really helped me in like producing good work and like resonating with an audience that um like feels the same way, you know.
For sure. And I want to do what you love, but do more of what works, for sure. Like this one clearly worked. I feel like all of these have worked for you, for sure. Do
Yeah.
more of what works. If you can't do it every week because of this, that's fine. But that's where like that editorial calendar, like I have everything in that Google Sheets. I know I just write down ideas. Even if my ideas change, I have like a whole list of carousel ideas right now that, you know, I'm working on as well. Cause I like doing the carousel, and that's like the trendy thing to do, but it allows you to give a lot of value to people as
Yeah.
well. So even if it's not a carousel each week, maybe you have a list of carousel ideas that you can pair up to your images, and then working ahead with, even if your thumbnails, you have an hour that you put into like 10 thumbnails for 10 potential designs. Like that is going to save you so much time of batch work. Like batch work has been huge for me.
Yeah. I did that this morning. I got like 4 ideas going on my sketchbook right now. So
you kind of have a pecking order of what one you're going to take on for next week then?
yeah. So what I'm debating now is, and we talked about this before too, is do I want to do like a photo, like or a mural, or like a sketchbook piece, you know, something that's like more photo, like in context versus a flat piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to like mess up my order. I like the idea of
so good right now, dude.
like offsetting the colors, like so like the next one's gonna be orange, no, the next one will be green, and then I don't remember the order, but it's instead of being like green, blue, orange, it'll now be blue, orange, green, and then it'll rotate, and then
snake. Okay.
yeah, and then it'll be like the colors will line up diagonally, and then I kind of think that helps break it up.
For sure. And have you used like the Plan app or any kind of way to just see how this is visually going to look? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I think it'll look dope. It'll be like a nice block of like 12 posts.
Yeah, I mean, and if you have an idea, if you want to do it on a mock-up, you can tuck it in the slider. You know, maybe that week you don't have a carousel for someone to swipe through. Maybe you could tuck in like the Procreate process video on one of them as well. And what's great about doing these galleries too is like it'll automatically change. So when someone's scrolling, it'll show that second thing up like whenever it refreshes in the feed. So they're like, oh crap, they posted twice. Oh wait, no, this is a gallery post. So
true,
something cool too. What other kind of struggles are you having right now, or you think you kind of got through that little mental hurdle? Because I know that was like pretty tough on you at the beginning of the week when we chatted.
Yeah. I feel like I'm over the hurdle, but I think now where I see myself struggling is what do I talk about? Like, and this is, I wanted to like posit this to the group. Like, what are some other struggles that you guys have that I could like kind of talk about too? Like, even if it's like making a decision, or if it's like giving feedback or getting feedback, you know, like I have an idea for like how doing a carousel of how people should give feedback versus like you know, just a phrase that I would do, you know what I mean? Like I want to add that educational value, and I think that's what added a lot to that third piece, is that there was a little bit of, it was fun and it was a little bit like educational. It was kind of like tips, you know.
Rob, have you tried to source anything from the people that view your stories? Maybe like using the like ask me, like the question thing?
Yeah. I haven't had like a lot of success with stories, and I think maybe it's just the way I'm thinking about it, or the way I'm like starting the conversation. I don't know if maybe like a video. Sorry, I'm just like spitballing, but even like a video of myself.
Yeah, I definitely think video, like what Jeffy says, or even within your posts, maybe ending it with some type of question as well. Like, have you dealt with this, or what kind of roadblocks are you dealing with right now? And then take one and DM someone you know, and in that way you start building like that relationship power too, especially you're introverted as well. Like that's got to be uncomfortable, which is good. Or you can even post in like the Facebook group after this and any of the biggest struggles that we're having. Like I have plenty of them, you know, and I deal with.
We all do, man.
I
It's
deal with them on
crazy.
my own, and that could be even a post right there. We all have our own shit that we struggle with.
True.
And yeah. So that could become a carousel, and you can even like it. Maybe you just write out each one, and it doesn't even have to be perfect, or you can use type. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. And
Rob, I was just gonna say, I know that you were talking about how like you didn't, or maybe I just thought you said this, but like you were saying how like the overthinker swim, like you weren't like super happy with how it turned out.
yeah.
I think it turned out great because of what you're saying, right? Like the
Yeah.
idea of like overthinking it, that you're shaky. Like I think that shows, but the swim is like more concrete. I just wanted to say like it's funny how like how much you've like overthought it, but like, you know, me just coming in and looking at it, I'm just like, the message reads loud and clear. And like, I didn't even like, I read what you said later and I was just like, but that spoke to me way more. So
Cool.
Just creating around what your biggest struggle is valuable as well. So
Cool.
anything else we can chime in on, or anything else you want to just talk through?
I have some notes. No, I mean, I'm feeling good now. So I think the next couple posts are going to be really fun, and I'm hyped for it. So
For sure. We're stoked to see it too.
yeah.
All right, man. Keep going. You don't have to hit a home run every time. That goes to all of
Yeah.
you, especially to me too. Especially to me too. All right. What's going on in this chat real quick? It keeps popping up. I feel like I'm missing out on all the fun. All right. I love the ducky, says Nina. Moving on. Kevin, and we'll finish it up with Jeffy. You're on mute, brother.
There we go.
Cool. What's up, man?
Not much. Just still doing a little recovery from that tornado.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And,
Well,
what's that?
Fill everyone in, just your name, your project.
My name's Kevin Cathcart. I'm at kevin.cathcart at Instagram. My project is NFL logo redesign. So each week I'm going to post my going through the alphabetically. I'm going to post a redesign of an NFL team's logo. So I'm pretty stoked about the project, and I got my first one out last week. So that was
on the Cardinals. By the time this comes out, you know, you'll have a couple more.
Yeah. So, and I'm actually I was throwing off a day, so I'm behind right now.
All right.
So, and I started on the design. I've been doing sketches this
You got
week.
Buffalo Bills up next?
Yeah.
All right.
And so I threw it into Illustrator today, and actually started last night, and just got everything kind of sketched out. And I worked on this design for a good portion of the day, and next thing you know, I've got 3 designs, and all right next to each other. Now I'm looking at one, I'm like, all right, this guy looks like a yak. This one looks like a chupacabra, and I'm not sure what this other one is. So I think I spread myself so thin. Now I don't have a design that I mean, they're all turds. So I could essentially post one of them and
pick one of the turds and post the turd.
Yeah. So
it's the act of just posting.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be beautiful. It doesn't have to be perfect. That 50, 60, 70, 80% of a turd being posted is way better than not posting anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, let's see this turd. Post that turd.
It popped in my head too. I was like, man, I just need to post this turd. And I was like, man, this is not anywhere where I had this design going. And I was like, you know, you guys talked about posting the turd. I'm like, I'm going to look back maybe in a year from now and say, damn,
I need to redo that turd.
yeah.
Like, and that's the beauty of this too, is like, once you finish this 32, because man, like when you see the growth from A to Z, there's no football teams with Z, so maybe it's going to end at like, God, I don't know off the top of my head. But when you see that growth between Arizona Cardinals to what is the Tennessee Titans or something all the way down there,
Yeah.
your mind is going to be blown. All right. And it's going to be so cool to like have someone else go back and look at the turds, you know,
Yeah.
like look at, this is where you started. Like my homie Bob Ewing started off as lettering. He lettered something daily. It was so bad in the beginning. His turds were bad turds. And now he did like 530 something straight days of like lettering one word. And now he's doing freelances full time, gets hired to do dope things, gets hired by conferences to do their like theme. So, but it starts with turds.
Yeah.
You know, so give yourself permission. And like how we talked with Savannah, I think it's important to give yourself your time constraints. Because right now you don't have any constraints you're working with.
Yeah.
This one could take 7 hours. This one could take 12 hours. And the next thing you know, you're behind. So give yourself some constraints. This is, you're a family man too, and you got school. Like you need to put some constraints on yourself, you know, and that way you have that margin built in if something else happened, like a tornado comes, or I don't know, you get snowed in, something like that, you know, or Pacers win the world championship and now your street's blocked down. So it's like you have to, that's, Savannah laughed at that one because no fucking chance of the Pacers winning that, right?
Yeah.
It's Lakers year. But that's what I mean. You got to put some constraints on yourself, even if it's like 4 hours a week is what you get.
Yeah.
Then you got to make it work. So that means you got an hour for sketching, 2 hours for, you know, vectoring, and then an hour for putting together for presentation. I know you probably need more than 4 hours a week for the vector part, but you know, give yourself boundaries.
Yeah.
And constraints to work in. Otherwise, you'll never know. You'll be like, maybe I need to add a little highlights under his eyes, or maybe his beak should be twisted 15 more degrees of an angle, you know, which you're probably already doing. So like next for your teams, now you can start projecting forward. Like, I really like this font, you know, and I think this could work for like the Buccaneers, my squad. So let me just like write this little note and tuck this font away. That way you're already kind of pre-planning some things ahead. Or with Rob, you know, do some thumbnails. Sit down an hour and just thumbnail for like the next 4 teams.
Okay. That's a good
idea. I think that would be huge. And just give yourself permission to not have it feel like it's 110% that you love it, you know?
Yeah.
If you're having fun and you got to show to grow. You got to show to grow. You can't just hide the turds.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Oh, man, dude. It's such a dumb concept.
It's like I've gotten better at my I've tried to work on my time constraints, like, you know, getting up at 4:30 in the morning. I've got that down. I've got that nailed. I've got my workout down. I've got that nailed. But for some reason, it's almost like I'm sabotaging myself. I find myself, I guess, lollygagging till the exact time every single day where I'm losing like an hour and a half. But there's some days where, man, I've got my time constraints down. And it's like, bam, I've got A1 down, A2, I'm on to B. But that's like every 3 days I have like a day like that.
There's a book, man, you got to read. The things that are holding us back from like doing our creative work. It's called The Resistance. God, what's the work called? I think it's called like Do the Work, or Art and Fear. Maybe the book's called Art and Fear. I'll find it and I'll share it with you, but it talks about like the resistance. You're good at all this other stuff, but when it comes down to like doing what needs to be done for you to show up with like your artwork and pursue that creative career, that dream of yours, there's the resistance. It's this invisible force that is stopping and holding us back from doing the work, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that book might really, really help unlock, you know, something for you. So it's like, it sounds like you got the resistance on certain days that's stopping you from being your most creative self.
Yeah, I would definitely be up for reading that. I just read The Morning Miracle last week.
Oh, how, Rod?
Yeah, I read that last week, and I'm reading E Squared.
Oh, Pam Grout, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the second one over here. So law of attraction, anybody's into like law of attraction or, you know, just like attracts like and putting out a different vibration and frequency, Pam Grout, E Squared, absolute game changer. If you want to get into mornings, Hal Elrod, My Miracle Morning. Both of those books changed my life. So, okay, you're on the right track. Let me find that other book. I think Jeffy posted it was Art and Fear or it's this other one. So I'll track it down. I got to look into it. But what can we do to help you?
Yeah, I guess I haven't held myself accountable this week, so I haven't posted anything. I haven't even posted my situation. So I mean, I get that's on me. I need to do that so I can be held accountable.
Yeah, I know you told me, but that's what it's an accountability mastermind group for a reason, you know. Let us all get on that ass or help you out.
Can you just like post progress of what you have? Like even if it's just not finished and then
sketch.
Post a finished piece later.
Yeah, I want to see.
You said just post the finished piece or what's that?
Just post, you should post progress. Like,
oh, okay.
Like, you know, and if you have the 3 logos, post the 3 different variations and then maybe you can get feedback. Like even if it's better than silence, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, you're 100% right. And that's, it's something I try not to do. It's what I used to do in the past. But I think I find that I do it when something really means a lot to me. And probably I was, you know, I last week I had a great week, and this week, you know, it still could be a great week. It's just, it's not where I wanted it to be personally. So essentially maybe I was just kind of backing off a little bit and trying to stay under the radar. I don't know.
Embrace the adversity.
Yeah.
Embrace the adversity. Hey, man, I had a fucking tornado that just ran through my neighborhood, but look, I got 3 different variations of this shit. If anything, people are gonna be like, damn, you still created 3 different sketches and you're picking up debris in your yard? Like, damn, Kevin. You know, that's gonna be like, what the hell was I doing this week that I didn't even get a chance to post? You know? So I think that's great. Like, can I give you an action item after this?
Yeah.
Post the 3 designs in our group. Pick one still, but like share the sketches, share the 3 designs. I want to see these.
Okay. All right.
Embrace it.
All right. Yeah, I'll do that.
And if you need an hour to finish up to get that final post done, post that final one. Tell a little story of how you know, a swipeable carousel, and post 3 designs and be like, man, you know, tell a little funny story of this, like you told us. Add some context around it.
Okay.
You know, have some fun with it. It makes you more human. And we like the human Kevin. We don't like the ghost Kevin.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Cool. So like after this, please post the 3 designs that you have working on and then let us weigh in.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah, cool.
Awesome. Yeah. Utilize us. Leverage us, man. We're here to help.
All right, man. I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. All right. We're going to end it with Senor Jefe. What's up, Jeffy?
How's it going?
Good.
All right. I guess the little blurb about me. I don't know why I have to look at what my name was on Instagram. Hey, I'm Cut Ink Studio with 2 T's. And I am a black and white fine liner illustrator, currently on a 365 daily drawing journey to give people moments of joy and inspiration during their day.
And before you dive in, this is going to be a couple weeks out afterwards, but what number are you on right now? Day.
I am on 195. Today is 195.
Dope, dude.
Yeah. Right. So I'm past the halfway mark, and during the call with Lauren on what was it, Wednesday?
Monday. Tuesday.
What
was it? When was it?
It was a day. I think it was Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay. You threw up a timeout, so it's Tuesday.
All right. There was a moment where she said, we were talking about like finding your style and finding your voice. And I had a very, like I had this moment of like, oh, I'm still trying to figure out my voice, but I have this style. And it feels kind of, I don't want to say backwards, because I think it's my own journey that I'm on. And I'm like, you know, this is how I've gone about it and I'm getting there. But it does kind of feel backwards. It feels like I'm still trying to figure out what I'm trying to say with the work. And I think I'm like starting to get into the flow, right? The first like the first couple months of this was me stumbling. If you go back, like I'm like playing with color. Do I want to do color? Okay, maybe I'm enjoying it. Oh no, I'm not. And then I try, like, there's a lot of pivoting that happens in the first couple months. And then you start to, there's stuff that, yeah, as we're talking about, like, don't delete, don't archive. Like, this is a great journey. And I'm like leaving it there on purpose. One, for myself to just like, yeah, look at how much you've done so far. But I think the thing that I don't know that it's a struggle, but I'm trying to find a voice. I'm trying to find a consistent voice, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Because I do know that I really like to help people, I'd like to help people try to find moments of joy in their day, or just like find it, even if it's just a second, you know, like appreciate the moments of joy is really what I'm trying to say.
So you said you feel like it's backwards, but I think coming back to like Tina, not everybody, there's no one way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so many people are dying to find their style, and you got your style locked down. You know, so if anything, you have an advantage towards a lot of other people. If I was on the outside looking in, and you know, there's an assignment that I would do with finding the sweet spot. You know, what are your greatest strengths and greatest passions? So for me, outside looking in, like, dude, you have always been like an encourager and a supporter, and I feel like that is your voice. You know, and that's up to you if you want to show all that in your work. If there's other things you want to talk about too, like you can have multiple voices. Like you can have a joke voice on this style. You could be the encourager, but like that's something that you shine at, and that's why you're such a valuable asset to this group, because you're the encourager. You could be doing your own coaching program someday for sure, you know? So you already know what you want to give people with your work, and I think you're showing up with it and getting deep with it as well, and pushing for the engagement by asking like a question within it too, to like connect with someone. So I think you're going in the right path, and I want to say keep going. And if you want to try something different, like, this is the world to experiment. I love that you're going within a certain aesthetic for sure. You know, that's you. That's what I know you for. That's what I've always known you for. And now it's just to see this dope body of work. And at the end of it, you can pick like some of your favorite, like I was telling Ben, and build like a flash sheet or something of like some of your favorite pieces. Maybe the ones that got the most engagement, or maybe the ones that just felt right to you the most, you know? So I want to give you permission to just give yourself permission to keep figuring it out, man. No pressure.
Yeah, and I think that the one thing that this, I'm calling it a journey, because it truly has been. For people that have known me, I've gotten in my own way so often, kind of to go back to what Rob was saying, you know, like kind of like overthinking so much that I take myself out of the running instead of just running the race, even just staying in my own lane, whether I'm like finishing first or last, not even showing up. So I think that putting this like 365 limit on it was super helpful. it also gives me this, like, I see the finish line, you know, it's far away, but I still see it. And it's just like, it's making me do things that I wouldn't have done otherwise. Like the drawing on the speaker, like I would never have done that. And it's just people in in my circles that don't really engage on Instagram or anything have like talked to me about, and they really like it. But yeah, it's right now I think I'm not going to call it a struggle. I'm just trying to figure out how to like recreate this, like the circumstances behind the post about coffee that I had. Like it was the not yesterday's, the one before, and then like the one that's the wood, the tree.
Trying to like dissect it, like why did this work and why did I enjoy it? Why did it pop off? How can I do more of what works that still like aligns to me being authentic?
Yeah. So it's you know, the surface stuff is obviously not it. So I got to like sit down and just like really look into it, and I think just do the hard work. And
it's a messy process, dude. You're deep in the process right now, for sure. We all are, you know, and we're all at our own starting points.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think I'm still, you know, just grinding and really kind of like realized like yesterday I was playing Ultimate Frisbee and like jammed my fingers on my drawing hand, and yeah, Rob's face. There was a moment where I was like on the ground just kind of like pinching all my fingers just to like keep the throbbing down, and couldn't tell, and I was just like, how am I going to draw? Turns out it was just these two fingers, so we're good.
You're not like nubbing it.
I can still iPad. Nope. Not drawing with my knuckles. But it one of the things that's been really good is just like coming out of that and realizing like how committed I am to drawing, just because I was just like my thought wasn't like, oh my God, did I break my hand? It was, how do I draw? And realizing that this is what is life-giving to me. So kind of like a weird personal win after just knowing myself for the last like 5+ years.
For sure.
Of getting in my own way.
Doing what you're doing is building that momentum each day. You're stringing together days of when you showed up. So that's what I want to push it for, like weekly with people. Like just doing something weekly is huge wins as well. You know, like 52 pieces in a year. That's a lot of stuff. You know, with all those turds, there's some gold in there. Yeah. So with yours in 365, you're gonna have a lot of gold, but you're probably gonna have a lot of turds too.
Yep. But definitely feeling the need to like put together a kind of like a vault of extras to pull on a day that I do actually maybe jam all of my fingers and can't draw.
Build that cue.
So, yep. So definitely feeling that. Yeah, but other than that, I think. Sorry, go ahead, Rob.
No, I wanted to say that I think your voice is really clear on your post. I know you were saying you weren't sure, but you have it's this motivational, but it's still witty at the same time. Like you kind of like throw in some jokes in there, and that makes it so unique. And like that coffee post was like that was dope. You know what I mean? Like I really liked it. I thought it was cool. Like I think like what Scotty was saying, stick to it. Don't think like you're not voicing or like doing a good job with your voice.
It's harder to see your own stuff, you know, because you're too close.
Oh yeah.
On the outside looking in, you know, I don't think I have a style. I don't really think I have a clear voice, but other people tell me differently. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, actually that makes sense. So, you know, from the outside looking in, you definitely have your own style of your voice. Your voice is catching up to the style for sure.
And in true accountability call fashion, I'm going to also say like a plus that is happening early on I'd say just before I got into the program. I'd shared with Scotty, like one of the things I want to start doing is also doing murals. I've kind of gotten interested in drawing on things when you draw for 365 days, an iPad can get boring, or a piece of paper can get boring. So you start drawing on things. And one of the things I wanted to start doing is doing murals. And right before getting into the Side Hustles coaching program, I was kind of putting it out there that I wanted to do a mural. I got one small mural gig. I was drawing on like a restroom stall door. But another buddy of mine just hit me up, F. Dot, if anyone knows Eric Friedenson, and asked if I'd like to help him out on a mural in New York City. So it's not going to be my own, but it's still experience that, I wouldn't have otherwise. So just a little bit of positive that I'm excited about, and, learn from somebody that's actually done murals.
And if you want to keep attracting murals, go on Unsplash and download sides of buildings, and then start drawing on those buildings, and use that as your 365. The last leg of it, you could just start attracting murals by every other day posting a mural design. So cool. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to weigh in before we wrap this up? All right, so this was awesome. You guys act like there wasn't even being anything recorded and get to be on a podcast or anything like that. Y'all just showed up and were your true selves, and that's why you were the perfect fit for this. I appreciate your your honesty, your vulnerability, your transparency, and that's why you're here, and that's why people are going to find value in it, and you're going to make a way bigger impact than just your work by just showing up and being yourselves. That's the dopest part, being yourself. So we'll connect. Someone like Tina, you and me can connect after this. And Kevin, what are you going to do again?
What's that?
What are you going to do again after this?
Post the turds.
Hell yeah. Post the turds and post those, post so we can see it in the Facebook group too. All right. I want to see all three of those designs that you had a hard chance picking from. So
Buffalo Yak,
and Chupacabra.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And we'll be in touch. All right. Peace.
All right. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Thanks again for listening. It'd be awesome if you took the time to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and let the comment below so we can connect. Again, if you want to catch a shout out as a future listener of the week, make sure you subscribe to the show on iTunes and give it a rating and review.